Hi there. Neither the Declaration of Independence nor the Gettysburg Address, which are two of the most important documents in history, say all men and women are created equal. Nor do they say all are equal, which is shorter and applies equally to people and fish. Both say all men are created equal. And it's too late for Jefferson to rewrite it. It's baked into our society. It's fundamental to Western civilization. Without it, there would be no democracy. It is the basis for our entire system of government. Those who trust in God believe we are all equal in His eyes. Unfortunately, the Supreme Being doesn't enforce His own rule. I mean, if the all-powerful Creator of the universe really wanted us all to be and stay equal, we would be. God does not give everyone the same gifts. You'd have to be blind not to see that some are born advantaged. Smarter, more athletic, richer. Others get physical or mental handicaps, or worse. Still, every human life begins in exactly the same way. And no, I am not going into details. Today there are things like sperm banks, in vitro fertilization, wombs for rent. You notice I didn't use the big word? Surrogate. You're welcome. None of them changes how life starts. No one, not Einstein, not Musk, have found a way to create life. None of them. Not even Dr. Frankenstein. Maybe only God can create life. I don't know. There's a debate about whether your abilities come from Him or if parents can transform their tiny little baby into another Einstein. Nature and nurture has been asked for centuries. Still, today, both sides agree. They're both important. But, and there's always a but, either way in life, people don't wind up equal. No, they do not. Have I just broken a law by saying that out loud? I hope not. Those born, let's say English or Saudi royalty, Bill Gates' kids, whomever. Wealth helps. Is that a surprise? I don't know if having a nanny, or lots of them, gets a child more love. I do know my parents loved me all the time, even though I sometimes wish they were billionaires. Did I say billionaires? Poverty is not a joke. Too many grow up without even knowing who their fathers are. Apparently, that's the modern family. You think they have an advantage? Disadvantaged children start school about a year and a half behind, and it gets worse from there. Now that is almost catastrophic, and it dramatically increases the chances of poverty, of jail, of illness, and of early death. Some can write music, some play games. I play chess. Can I beat Bobby Fischer? Clearly not everyone is equal, but, and here's another but, government must treat all equally. It must. Unfortunately, now let's be real. That's an aspiration at best. So why do we have a government based on all are equal when we are not? Is it because we can't trust government? It's made up of people. And power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's true of all branches of government. Another reason is that governments go crazy and pass laws, and they set the insanity in stone. They can define a person's class, and I don't mean 8th grade. British nobles sat in the House of Lords with veto power over the House of Commons. Now that wasn't fair. It was just the way it was, until it ended. And you really believe that the British class system is over, right? The Indians, not the American ones, called classes castes. Some were born to rule. Others were untouchable from the moment they were born. Look it up. Women weren't equal. They still aren't in many places. English women weren't allowed to vote because their brains were supposed to be smaller. And yet, Queen Victoria ruled for 64 years. And the current queen, Elizabeth II, has been in office longer than that. She's like the Energizer Bunny, huh? Slavery is another product of government insanity. That the United States allowed slavery is our founding shame. Our Civil War does not completely erase that. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation ended the peculiar institution which counted slaves as only 3/5 of a human. Changes to the law followed to make them full citizens. An important part of the U.S. Constitution is that government will treat all equally. It also has a system of checks and balances to make sure that happens. It's a brilliant design, and it's been copied all around the world. I am not going into President Trump and Mrs. Clinton. I am not, except to say that some see a two-tier system of justice developing, and we can't have that. We better not. Our Declaration of Independence says we are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Going back to when we were equally born naked, as we grew, we sought opportunities to be successful, but, and here's another but, the Constitution says nothing about equality of outcome. There's only one of those, just one. We are all going to die someday. Before that, there's circumstance, family, education, and luck. Can't deny luck, both good and bad. It shows up in the dark by itself, ignoring wish and prayer. Doesn't touch everyone. It certainly is not the way to bet. There's a formula to help with betting. A formula. Thomas Edison had 9 words. 9. Genius is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. Great words. Brin, Zuckerberg, so many successes didn't wait for luck to show up by Federal Express. They didn't, and they did not sit around bitching and moaning. They made things happen. I am Mike for the Be More Better team, and I'd like to say one more thing. Those with strengths should always help those with challenges. Always. Until the next time. Bye now. Thank you.